Chris hit us up. He said, why do people just assume Ohio State can win a national title every year? My answer is because they can win a national title every year.
Lay hold of it. You lay hold of it. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. Some of you are so ignorant. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? You should have quit 10 years ago. You should have been quit. You don't quit now. It's the 10th round. You got 2 more to go. And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina. It's about stamina. It's about you won't break me. You can't take me. It's too late now. It's too late. You should have broke me a long time ago. I'm unbreakable now. The only chance at this point is you gotta kill me. And you gotta kill me now. And then when you kill me, my legacy will live.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of Buckeye BS. It's your boy Ron James here with my guys Cleveland Mike and my guy Cam. Fellas, how you doing?
Hanging tough, chilling.
Good, man. Another Sunday. Watch my Cowboys piss me off. So it's what it is.
Man, that must stink. That
I don't know what that feel like.
Yeah, we know that feeling, but the Buckeyes are 9-1 after they cruised to a 31-7 victory over Northwestern in Wrigley Field. I know we have NFL teams that may potentially ruin our day today, but our Buckeyes handled business yesterday in Chicago. We had an awesome homecoming for Carnell Tate having a big game. We've been calling for a big game from Carnell for a while now. It's great to see it happen in his hometown of Chicago. But before we get into things, Cam, I think we made a mistake yesterday. Turned down tickets to potentially the best game in college football yesterday. Decided not to go. I said, you know what? It's a rainy, gloomy day here in Pittsburgh. I have no desire to go sit at Heinz Field and watch Pitt football. I stayed home. We watched the Buckeyes get the win 31-7 over Northwestern. Did we make a mistake not going to Pitt Clemson yesterday after Cade Klubnik wins the game on a walk-off 50-yard run? Shades of C.J. Stroud versus Michigan State on that run.
I mean, me as a bona fide Clemson hater, that probably would not have been enjoyable for me to watch. But as a game in general, yeah, that would have probably been dope.
Yeah, my cousin.
But your cousin would have probably want to beat my ass because
he called me. He called me from the parking. He called me from the parking garage leaving the game. I lost my mic there for a second. He called me from the parking garage leaving the game and was like, bro, is there any hope? Did you watch the game? What did you see? I'm like, I saw Ohio State beat Northwestern. I was not watching Pitt Clemson. But we did watch our team handle business. So I do want to dive straight into that. The Buckeyes get it done 31-7 in Wrigley Field. I guess we'll just start with the field. Do you guys like these types of games? Do you like to see the Buckeyes go and play in different stadiums? They gave the trivia question of the day was these teams have played in an MLB stadium before. They've played in Cleveland once before, a home game from Northwestern. Interesting fact there. Do you guys like seeing the Buckeyes play in these novelty type games in different types of stadiums?
No. I mean, They talked about, Wrigley Field, how awesome, it is and all of that stuff, man. It's like, yeah, it's awesome playing baseball there, right? But football, put it on a football field, an actual football field. That's what it should be used for, man. It is what it is, though. Got the dub.
Yeah. Personally, I mean, it's Northwestern, you know what I mean? But, for, a bowl game or something, I could see how that's cool. But for a regular season football game in the Big Ten, definitely rather be in a traditional stadium. It looked kind of unorthodox. TV camera kind of wasn't really designed. I mean, not TV camera wasn't designed, but like you could just tell, it wasn't designed for a football game. Like the angle that we were seeing watching the game, it was just weird. I'm just glad we got out of there with no injuries. I mean, JJ got tweaked a little bit, but on Indiana, man.
Yeah, man. Cam made a good point about the weird angles. I don't know if you guys saw the highlight from the Carnell Tate touchdown, or probably didn't see the highlight because a bunch of fans stood up in front of the broadcast cameras. And it's like, hey, if you're going to be shooting a game in a baseball stadium, can you at least have angles where if the fans stand up, we can see the touchdown? I mean, they must have known that it must have been a beautiful ball because everybody was standing before he even caught it. They must have known that shit was good. But Cam hit the nail on the head right there, talking about the weird angles inside Wrigley Stadium. Cam, you chose to go to Oregon. Are these types of games something that you would travel for?
No. I went to Oregon because, I had a personal vendetta against an old lady that trolled me in Ohio Stadium. So I went to Oregon to troll somebody else's grandma. But we ended up losing. So I couldn't troll someone's grandma. But I don't know, man. Like if we were Michigan or something and about to be 6-6, and I would probably not want to go to a Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium to play Central Michigan or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, you talked about potentially going to this Indiana game, but we had to have the conversation. Like,
correct.
As long as I've known you, the Buckeyes have lost every time you've attended a game.
I think I'm 0-4 my last OSU game. So, Buckeye Nation, I will not be attending another Ohio State game this year. I will be sitting at home. I had free tickets to go to the Penn State game, and I decided not to go. And look what happened.
Thank you,
I will be sitting at home, but I am thinking about going to the Michigan game though. But I think that we got low risk with that one. But so.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a belated Veterans Day, but yes, thank you for your service, not only to the United States military, but also to the Ohio State Buckeyes, keeping your ass out of the stadium so we can continue to win. You only blessed us with one loss this year, so I thank you for that. Let's dive right into the game. Will Howard, 15-24, 247 yards, and 2 touchdowns. You saw the deep ball to Jeremiah Smith, and my first inclination was to grab my phone and tweet. Wasn't short on that one. What were your thoughts on Will Howard, the deep ball, and his overall performance at quarterback this Saturday?
I think he's getting a little bit better at it, man. Wish that, we had started off going to it, but man, I think it's getting better. I think he's finding rhythm. He was a little bit on time, I would say, which was one of the things that Cam always harped about is how late he was. So, as long as they keep working on it, and hopefully next week when we're on the actual football field, we'll hit those.
I mean, yeah, we saw what he said in the interview, how he said he was just worried about aiming the ball and how he's just going to let it rip. And I think that we saw that, and we got a lot of hit or miss, which is better than all misses what we've been getting, right? Like you've seen a lot of times where he just threw it up there, and it was just like, okay, like the receiver's covered. And then you saw times where he threw it up there, and Carnell Tate had the athleticism to dive and catch it. And you saw Jeremiah Smith get under that. So it's like, just keep fucking throwing the ball like that, Bill. Like, don't worry about aiming it. And if it's a 50-50 ball, then fuck it, it's a 50-50 ball, bro. But we can't have the underthrows because that's where we're going to end up getting turnovers against more athletic teams.
Yeah, absolutely. You know my saying, fuck it, JJ's down there somewhere.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even if it's a drop, I'm fine with it. I love the attempt. I thought it was an overall good game by Will Howard. Protected the ball. It felt like, I don't know if I missed it. I was enjoying my Saturday, so I may have missed it a bit. But I don't think we had any bonehead plays from Will Howard. We've talked about it before. It feels like there's at least one a game where it's like, what are you doing there? And I don't think I remember any of those off the top of my head. It seemed like a fairly clean game from Will. Any of those moments jump out to you, or do you think that he played a cleaner game? Even though it was an easier opponent, you still like to see him protect the ball and not take too many crazy risks, especially in a game that doesn't require them.
I mean, just nitpicking. I mean, on on a couple of those fourth downs, like we had underneath players that was open, and he was kind of going for the deep shot. Like you said, I think Ron, that he was probably trying to get Carnell some love, but we definitely could have converted those two fourth downs if he would have just took the easy cheese underneath.
Mike?
Yeah, man. I mean, Cam kind of summed it up right there. Definitely take the stuff underneath, and just take what the defense gives you. As long as he's doing that, we'll be fine, man. And just hoping that JJ will be healthy for next week. That's the biggest thing.
I want to pivot a little bit to the run game. You see the Buckeyes really have things rolling in the run game. Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson both running really hard this game. Quinshon Judkins, 15 carries, 76 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Travion Henderson, 11 carries, 74 yards, 6.7 yards per carry. Q had a little bit of a sluggish 2 weeks. Seems to really get back on track this past week, back up to 5.1 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Your thoughts on this running back room? Because everybody had such high expectations coming into the season for them. And it feels like, at least to me, it feels like they're almost exceeding it. It feels like we're watching the best version of Travion Henderson that we've ever seen at Ohio State. And it's been super cool to watch Trey finally have a healthy season and be able to show Buckeye fans what he's really capable of when he has a fully healthy season.
Yeah, I'm so happy with Trey this season, man. And I also like that he's running behind his pads a lot more. That was one of my biggest criticisms. I felt like he was more of a finesse back, but he's showing that he can do, both things now. Get behind his pads and run guys right over. And you see him popping the longer runs, the bigger plays, and I'm proud of Trey. And I think what's so awesome is it doesn't matter. One of these guys is not having that day, the other guy is, right? I felt like they both did a good job. They both, I think, averaged almost or over 5 yards a carry as well in this game. Quinshon kind of had me worried the one time he had an open lane for the first down and ran into the guy that his teammate was blocking. Felt like he could have got a better average if he had hit that hole. But other than that, I got no complaints. And you can tell what that Coach Locke's imprint on the running backs. And that's what I'm enjoying the most.
Cam?
Yeah. Mike had a great depiction of the backfield. My best thing I liked about that game was we weren't really running the ball that well first half, honestly. Like, they were stuffing us. I mean, Northwestern's above average run defense in the low 30s nationally. And I think that going into that second half, I think we had 60 yards rushing, maybe, if that, or actually in the third quarter. And then we saw us be able to turn it on and just start pounding the ball and ripping out chunks to milk the clock and get off the field. So that's what I was impressed about, how we can just keep hitting it. And then we found our stride in the second half and didn't abandon the run game. So that just shows Ryan Day's confidence in the O-line and the running back room to close games in the future against better opponents.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Mike hit on it as well. It speaks to the level up that, I mean, you got to give credit to Coach Locke. He may have inherited the best running back room in the country, but you got to give credit where credit's due. Even though it was the best running back room in the country, we're seeing Trey run at levels that we've never seen before from Travion Henderson. We're seeing a commitment to blocking in the pass protection game from these running backs that we haven't seen in years past. So I think while the backs are playing well and they deserve a ton of credit, Coach Locke also deserves some credit for what he's been able to do with that running back room and the mentality that he's implemented in that room and the level up that they've taken. We talked about it earlier in the show. Carnell Tate with a huge game, 2 touchdowns in Wrigley Field. You love to see it for the hometown kid. And it feels like it's been about time, whether we were playing in Carnell Tate's hometown or not. It felt like we owed Carnell a Carnell Tate type of game with some of the misses that we see in the past couple weeks. We've seen Carnell missed, 2 or 3 times now on a deep ball leading into this game that could have probably been touchdowns, and it seems like they made it right here in Chicago with the 2 touchdowns. Your thoughts on Zone 6 performance as a whole? It seems like every week these guys quietly just go out there and handle business. No one really going completely insane, but at the same time, it seems like no one can stop them. Jeremiah Smith constantly getting open with the 68-yard catch. Carnell Tate with the 2 big touchdowns. BI getting involved. Your thoughts on Zone 6 performance yesterday, Mike?
Man, I love their performance. And, like Cam was saying, the run game wasn't getting there in the beginning. And that's because Northwestern committed to, hey, we're going to try to make Will Howard have to beat us over top. And so they was committed to stopping the run, stopping everything underneath. We had some people that was in the group chat talking about, hey, we need to get Emeka more involved. And I'm like, look at what Carnell is doing, bro. Like, what are you talking about? I love what I saw from Carnell. Happy for him getting the 2 touchdowns. He also said he had about like 30 to 40 people there as well. And you just continue to see Jeremiah Smith making plays. Shout out to Ryan for saying this is the best wide receiver in college football before that man ever touched a blade of college grass, man. And, like you said, Brandon Ennis getting involved. You just love to see the different weapons that we have. And, man, I just wish we could get them involved more. But defense needs to go ahead and start getting offenses off the field more so that we can see these weapons a lot more. Because one possession or one drive in the first quarter, we can't have that.
Cam, thoughts on Zone 6?
I mean, it was just it was another typical day for Zone 6 against a not so good Northwestern secondary. That whenever they're on this, whenever Bill's cooking and they're on the same page, it's not really too many people that can really fuck with us. Jeremiah came into his own. I like the way that we use him more as a volume receiver instead of a big play guy. Carnell Tate, he's shown what he's shown all year, that he has that big play ability to run that 9 and that bang up that seam and to be able to win those 50-50 balls whenever given an opportunity. He showed elite hands in traffic. We even got a little bit of G. Scott mixed in there. So, yeah, I just think that we all found our stride. I think that was very interesting that we didn't really get into the normal mode of wanting to force the ball to Emeka. And we kind of just let the flow of the game happen the way it should have been, which is just it's a vertical game. Like, they're going to sit underneath all the short stuff, and if we have the innate advantage to just go deep and hit the middle of the field and hit the digs and the crossers, that's a JJ and a Carnell Tate game. And Emeka wasn't involved, but I mean, I like the game plan. So,
yeah, you brought up G. Scott. I tweeted when he made that catch, it's like the Ohio State offense remembered that we're allowed to throw the ball to the tight end. It seems like it's been the missing position from this offense. It felt like, oh man, the tight ends are involved. I just looked at the box score. 1 catch for the tight ends. Does it feel like we're still not using the tight end enough in this offense? It seems like when G and Jelani get their opportunity, I believe Jelani had a drop yesterday, but when they get their opportunity, for the most part, they make plays. Is it odd to you that Cade Stover was such a huge part of this offense, and now under Chip Kelly, it seems like the tight end has become the forgotten position on offense?
Which is weird because I thought that Chip used his tight ends a bit more when he was at UCLA, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I want to see more of G. Scott in the passing game. I want to see him get more involved. I don't know if I blame. I would just say it was good defense on Jelani on that one. I guess that's considered a drop, man. The defender was already right there. I think he even got there a little bit early. But it is what it is. Not going to complain about it. But, yeah, I want to see them get involved more. More. But there has been times this season where I've seen G. Scott open and Will not hit that guy. I think it was on actually when Will threw an interception, G. Scott was open. in a previous game. So though I think that I don't see anyone who can guard G. Scott or Jelani on that field. It's a mismatch when you put a linebacker on them.
Cam?
I won't go as far as say it's a mismatch with everyone's linebackers, but I will say that I am intrigued about the progression that I've seen from Jelani. So Jelani, it's kind of like they're trying to put his feet in the water, get his feet wet, to see if he's going to sink or swim. We saw him get a catch against Purdue last week. He had a good little corner route. We saw him get a target this week. We saw G. Scott get banged up a little bit today. So it's kind of looking like to me that they're moving away from the Bennett situation that we kind of went to against Penn State when we were running the ball, and want to use Jelani to have as that dual threat tight end in there that the defense is going to have to respect, like with the pass game. So we'll see. G. Scott's doing his thing. He's an older guy, but Jelani is who I'm intrigued to see. I want to see what his role is going to be once we play. Well, I guess we are playing a top team next week, and to see what they're setting up for. You can just we all been watching Ryan Day football in Ohio State for a long time, and you can always tell and in these weeks that we're always setting up something for on tape. So they've been putting Jelani in there in that 12 personnel look in the boundary, and they've been just sneaking them out. We've been doing that little motion with Emeka to JJ to the wide side of the field. So I'm interested to see why they want to put that on tape for the next couple of weeks against Indiana and what's going to come out of that.
I wanted to pivot a little bit to the offensive line. The Buckeyes only give up 1 sack in Wrigley yesterday. It seems like they're really finding their footing with this new mixture of offensive linemen. I think Donovan Jackson, I heard his name maybe once or twice on the broadcast about almost sacks, but Will got the ball out fast enough to prevent that from happening. How much credit are you giving to Justin Fry for this offensive line's ability to stay together despite all of the injuries that they've seen this season?
Man, I think like we've been saying, man, we wanted to show that he can develop, and I think that the development is there. We just want to see him, get better in the recruiting game, man. I hope that the recruits are seeing what he's doing in the development, because like I said, I just felt like he had to get something on his resume. And once he does that, I think that his recruiting should, take off. But I think that Justin Fry, who's the other guy that's in there? Some people want to give him credit, but I mean, from all accounts of what I'm hearing, it's Justin Fry.
Justin Fry obviously has been absolutely destroyed by our fan base, but I've been pretty consistent on the fact that I've seen progress. If anybody has any question about Justin Fry, go watch last year's tape in 2023 from the first game all the way up to that Michigan game, and then watch the same guys, the same offensive linemen, Josh Simmons in particular, this year, and tell me that he doesn't have any type of ability to develop. The issues with recruiting, I don't really know. I don't know if it's a situation.
How much does it matter if you're getting guys that can play? Do you care the stars if they're starting?
Eventually it's
at the tackle position.
Yeah. Eventually it's going to be you're going to run into an issue with depth where guys are just not hitting. So you're going to need that depth. You're going to want that quality, and you're going to want that size, right? Especially at the tackle position, like Mike was saying. So. Eventually, we're going to want to get some elite guys in there with some traits that can overcome the coaching. But, yeah, Justin Fry has been doing a phenomenal job with the offensive line. He's been doing a great job since last year, honestly.
Yeah, if you would have told Buckeye fans before the season that we would be a Joe Moore semifinalist and lose Josh Simmons and Donovan Jackson would be hurt for the first half of the season, you'd be like, I didn't know crack was back. Like, there's no way that anyone would have believed that preseason that there was a chance that the Buckeyes would have this solid of an offensive line this season. We got a super chat from Mr. Jones. Thanks for the 5. Fellas, what's up? Looks like CJ Hicks was right, LOL. Cornerback room needs to do some soul searching. They're the weak links of the team right now. I guess this is our transition straight to the defensive side of the ball. Everyone saw the clip last week of CJ Hicks talking to Austin Ward when Austin Ward asked him a goofy-ass question, and CJ's only response was, they need to put me on the fucking edge. Well, they put him on the fucking edge. Looked pretty good. Your guys' thoughts on CJ Hicks and his assessment that he needs to be on the fucking edge?
Yeah, I mean, Hicks just needs reps, man. And now you're giving him reps at a different position now. So, I mean, hey, I think he'll get better with the more reps that he continues to get, the more that he continues to see in game. And hopefully we'll be able to see him allow his athletic abilities to show.
That last sack that CJ Hicks had, that's probably the quickest get off I've seen off the edge in years at Ohio State. I'm just sitting there halfway bored, and I just see him fly off the edge. And I sit up in my seat, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And he gets into the backfield immediately, and I'm like, that is what we are missing. That speed rush ability on the edge to just get to the quarterback off sheer athleticism. That's what we're missing. So I hope that we continue to go this route with CJ Hicks and stop putting him in that traditional linebacker role. He apparently knows that is not his position, that he can't, that he's not very good at it or not very effective at. I don't know if that goes on Laurinaitis or whatever, but I think that he's definitely probably looking at guys like an Abdul Carter, Harold Perkins, those type of guys that have made that transition to the edge and getting a lot of NFL love, and he's probably feeling like he can do the same thing. And I think that just in his second game getting those reps, he flashed. So let him keep going.
Yeah, I agree. To see him being able to play the position that we believe he'll be playing is good to see. I wanted to stick with the linebacker position. Cam, you've been most critical of Sonny Styles and then skeptical of his transition to linebacker. It feels like he's been playing his best ball at linebacker the past couple of weeks. What have you seen out of Sonny Styles these past couple of weeks that has improved from what we were seeing on film earlier in the season?
He's a lot better at IDing and like with his keys and like triggering like with his keys. But the main issue that I've always had with Sonny is like I just still don't think that he's a physical football player. Like I don't. I'm just, I don't know.
So he's too passive back there, not aggressive enough.
I just don't feel like he. I don't know. I feel like he's a very good football player. I feel like he's very smart. I feel like he's very athletic, but like, I don't think that he really wants to fill that A gap and smack the fuck out of somebody. I don't think that's in his nature. And I hate watching that at my linebacker. I hate watching my linebacker grab somebody and gator roll. I hate watching my linebacker tackle. I want my linebacker to hit motherfuckers. And like that, he's just not that. So maybe it's just a personal thing to me, I guess. I don't know. But I would love to just see Sonny. Like there's been so many opportunities for Sonny to just come downhill and just absolutely murder somebody, and he doesn't. He just wraps them up. And it's like, good play, but it's like, fuck him up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want my linebacker to fucking hit somebody, bro. Like,
so this is for 3 straight weeks now. Sonny Styles has went from being in the bottom 5 to 10 players on defense in PFF grades to being in the top 5 for 3 straight weeks. 2 sacks yesterday, 2 pass defenses. Mike, Cam, less optimistic on what he's seen from Sonny Styles so far. Your thoughts on the improvement that we've seen the past few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, he is improving, and he's going to improve with reps. That aggressive nature, I mean, is going to probably have to come with the confidence. I think you might be able to see it, as the season goes on, as he gets more confident. Hopefully, we can see him being a little bit more nasty, being a little bit more. But you know what? You know where I think that normally comes from, man? When you smacking stuff in practice and everything, bro, like, instead of doing all the little fake thud up and all of that crap, bro. Like, I really want to see this team practicing tackling because, Cam, I don't think you could just put it on Sonny Styles. I think that Caden Curry had a chance to kill the punter right there in the back of the end zone, man.
And punter? Come on, man.
Bruh, he tried to sidearm him. He tried to sidearm tackle him, bro. Go kill him.
Ain't nobody teeing off on the punter,
bro. The punt that they blocked, he could have killed that punter, bro, and he should have. My whole thing is I want to see this team come down, smack people, hit people like we used to, bro. The only one who I saw come and do that yesterday, Caleb Downs.
Make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube for our merch that is dropping soon that says "Hit the punter harder." Mike.
He tried the sidearms and missed the tackle.
We have Hit the Punter t-shirts coming soon. Our super chatter earlier, Mr. Jones, noted that he believes that the cornerback room is the weakest link on this Ohio State defense. I was with my buddy yesterday who is a Penn State fan, and he also agreed with that sentiment, so much so that he also said that he believes that Davison Igbinosun is the best cornerback on the Buckeyes roster right now. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that statement. We saw Jermaine Matthews play a ton of minutes these past few weeks. It seems like the Buckeyes are rotating more in their cornerback room. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that assessment. Do you guys believe that Iggy is the best corner on this team?
Yeah, I mean, so far he has been. And, we could talk about the mistakes, the penalties, but I mean, in a Penn State game, he made a mistake, boom, interception. This past game that we just watched, he made a mistake, got a penalty, even got the ball caught on him, right? And then turns around and gets a breakup. So I mean, came through on a crucial down. So I have no complaints about Iggy, man, but I don't know if it's Jermaine Matthews. I mean, we've been calling for him, saying we need to see him more. I don't know if it's because of the lack of reps, if he's even confident out there, but I did see him get burnt a couple of times, and I'm like, against better quarterbacks, man, they're going to put that ball in the breadbasket. And so Burke continues to be the fish that everybody and every team continues to, I guess, see on tape, and they try him every time.
Cam?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Igbinosun is probably playing the best right now. If he's the best on the team, I think that's to be determined. Because as great as Iggy is, Iggy's also one of the bigger liabilities because you just don't know at any given moment whatever ref crew's out there is going to destroy us with defensive holding penalties and PIs. And we all know it deep down inside, and we all can see us in a playoff game in a critical moment, and we're getting fucked by the refs because our cornerback just refuses to not grab anyone. So it's like I would love to see Iggy not grab people because that's going to come back to bite us in the end. Denzel Burke, here's what I was thinking about yesterday, right? We had the number one passing defense last year with the exact same secondary, correct?
Yeah.
Josh Proctor.
I mean, basically, Josh Proctor's not here.
Oh, is that? Wait, let me start. Is Cam? Is that what you're telling? Is that the point you're about to make?
No.
Caleb Downs is making our defense worse.
No.
You heard it here first.
No
Truther
Q.
Vandross.
No
Caleb
Q.
Downs is making our defense worse.
So we have the same exact players literally in the secondaries last year, and What is the difference? Like
Tommy Eichenberg. I got it. That's where you were going. Tommy Eichenberg. We missed Tommy.
At what point do you look at the coaching and say, what is going on in the coaching room with Walt, with Matt Guerrieri, and with Knowles that has led to this regression across the board in our secondary 1 year later? Like, why did we watch Denzel? We watched this secondary hold Mizzou and Luther Burden to 15 yards receiving, and now it's like we hold our breath every time a fucking neurosurgeon from Northwestern is going deep on a route. Like, what is happening? I feel like it's a lot of mental things that's going on with like confidence and things like that. I don't know if the teach techniques are different. I don't know why we don't play the ball. I also think that is another issue that we are facing. That's an NFL technique. I feel like
I wouldn't even say I wouldn't models in Columbus to start boosting confidence of our secondary. What's going on? What could have happened to their confidence?
Like, I just don't understand it, bro. I don't understand why we are just regressing like that in the secondary. And I don't know. I don't know. I wish I was in a Woody last year and this year and can see what is going on, but it's very, very obvious that Denzel Burke is not the same. It's very obvious that Jermaine Matthews is not the same. I mean, go watch Jermaine Matthews in just the little snaps that he got last year, absolutely sticking to wide receivers, understanding what's going on, leg in the ground, driving on a ball, getting interceptions. And now it's just like we're just lost in space. It has to be a coaching breakdown at some point. I don't understand what's going on. Like,
it'll be something interesting to monitor, but at least that they've addressed the issue, and as far as at least starting to rotate, Jermaine Matthews got a ton of snaps yesterday. I mean, we saw him with the big third down stop last week in the red zone against Purdue that forced the eventual missed field goal. So to see that they're at least open to repping, so when the opportunity to take one of those corners off the field comes up, there's not the excuse of, well, Jermaine hasn't played. He's getting plenty of reps now, so at least they have another guy that they're confident in. I said, you guys talked about the holding with Iggy. I mentioned to my buddy, I said, he's value time Joey Porter Jr., and as a Penn State fan, his ears perked up and said, what's wrong with that? And I think Cam hit the nail on the head as far as it's fine until you get a referee that's ready to call holding on every play, and then what? I mean, we're talking about the guy that has to wear oven mitts in practice because he holds so much. So if he gets a ref crew that isn't going for it, it could be a long day for the Buckeyes. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean,
Jason, we're not. This Jason Lewis said that this fan base. I don't have the ability to put the. I don't know. I'm probably because I'm not logged in, but he says this fan base wants a full impenetrable Death Star, but even it had a weakness. We're strong more errors than any team that plays this has over. Stop whining.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jordan Lewis. I appreciate the comment. That's all we have for Buckeye BS. Fuck us. We don't have anything to talk about. There's nothing to say about this team. We're actually the greatest team that ever played. No flaws. Travion Henderson, best running back we've ever seen since Bo Jackson, Will Howard, Brett Favre in Columbus. Like, I don't know. We have the greatest team ever. I can't believe we've lost the fucking game. How dare us get on here and do a podcast where we talk about how our team played? Yeah, I mean, we're whining too much. You actually, bro, here, I'll tweet you out the link. You come do the show. You tell us how it's done, since there's nothing to talk about. Shut the fuck up, Jason Lewis. I'm not having your shit, goofy motherfucker. So back to this team, bro.
Not having it this morning.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do niggas want us to come on here and fucking talk about, bro? You say anything negative about this team, bro, you get the fucking tampon boys out here fucking crying. Jesus
bro, the
Christ.
crazy part about it is it's like, dog, like, we are always talking about in perspective of winning a fucking national championship. Like, do you want me to come up here and say, oh, yeah, we look great against Northwestern, or like, no, motherfucker.
No, bro, maybe we should come on here and start giving a fucking fashion breakdown. New hoodies in the bookstore for Buckeye fans, like, to wear in our fucking at the Cotton Bowl again this year because we're okay with missing the playoffs. Fuck are people talking about, bro?
I said this yesterday, man. I said the people who don't like us being critical of the Buckeyes, those are the same people who can't be critical of themselves. They think that they have no faults and shit. Like, they just think that they're walking around perfect. Like, come on, man. God damn, bro. I mean, here's the thing, bro. We're talking about the game. Do people make mistakes? Yes. Do you want that cleaned up? Yes. What is wrong with saying that? What is wrong with that?
Bro, we've seen multiple national championship teams, and we know what that shit looks like. And it's like it's a gradual climb to that excellence in November. So it's like,
forget a national championship. We watched Chase Young, J.K. Dobbins, and Justin Fields, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson climb to that ascent and not even make the fucking natty. And they're mad because we're criticizing people not as good as that team in their pursuit of a national championship. They need to start printing up third place in the Big Ten shirts for all of these Buckeye fans that are so fucking happy and content with that, because clearly there is a contingency of this fan base that is fine with third place in the Big Ten and fucking not going to the playoffs. Like, we need a Ohio State almost made the playoff shirt for all these loser ass fans that have no issues with this team not winning. Like, it's unbelievable. But the only thing that's more unbelievable than that comment by Jason Lewis is the fact that 2 teams 2 weeks in a row have managed to make Ohio State special teams look competent. Like, what is going on? We went from having what seemed to be the worst special teams in America until Purdue and Northwestern said, at worst, third worst in America, because Purdue and Northwestern have worse special teams than us. Were you guys shocked by this revelation that there are teams out there with worse special teams than Ohio State?
I just think that I think that we just yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like,
with the special teams, bro, man, and Ryan Day said that they work at it, but our guys, like, we're not going to see a punt return. We're not going to see any of that. And I've said this earlier in the season: our guys don't block. A punt returner is going to make 1-2 guys miss, and we've seen Caleb Downs made 2 guys miss. But what was there? 2 more damn guys right in his face. Who did we block? So, I mean, shout out to Fielding, though, kicking his extra points, hitting the field goals. That looks improved.
Shout out to bro. He must have heard this criticism, because he has looked solid in the kicking game. I was on 93.1 The Fan in Lima earlier this week, and they asked me a question that I wanted to ask you guys. So, well, we haven't seen much success on the kick or punt return. At what point do they go, we do have Jeremiah Smith, why don't we try him? I didn't love the idea, but when Mike said he's convinced that, we're probably not going to get one, I wouldn't hate seeing him on kick return. We saw Travion Henderson back there. Are you guys opposed to seeing Jeremiah Smith on any special teams?
1,000%.
Mike's already shaking his head no.
1,000% opposed to it, bro. We already seen what the Northwestern players trying to do, a little twist at the end. And that's the type of, special teams is on kickoff and punt, man. It's a little bit nasty. It's guys who don't really play, and they want to be a little dirty sometimes, man. No. Don't want to risk JJ at all. And like I said, we don't block. So you want me to put him back there? You want me to put him back there for motherfuckers don't block? So he just take his head off? Hell no, I'm good.
Cam?
No.
See?
Keep JJ. Keep him at one.
So then it makes me think, well, we wouldn't put JJ back there. 2 names that we did see back there this week: Travion Henderson, Caleb Downs. And when I saw Caleb's Downs back there, I immediately got pissed off. What are we doing? And then I thought to myself, I was like, bro, if he's going to play like that on defense and we got to keep him here for another year, if bro says he wants to return punts,
bro, he was
you want to coach special teams too? Yeah. Like, whatever you want.
He was cribbing shit at Bama last year. Did you not watch him punt return against for Bama last year?
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of Buckeye fans were losing their mind at the beginning of the year about any suggestion of him returning punts, playing running back, any of that. No one wanted extra hits. And I'm saying, with the way he's playing on defense, fuck it, bro. You want to return punts? Do it. You want to coach this? You want to coach special teams? Have at it. Here's the clipboard. If Caleb Downs, to keep him in Columbus one more year and playing the way he's playing, he can do no wrong. Honestly, do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
that's my opinion there.
I'm
right there with Mike. I don't want to see him getting hurt, but at the same time, bro, it's your domain. Do what you got to do.
In the beginning of the season, man, I was one of the guys who opposed, like, no, I don't want to see Caleb Downs back there returning punts, man. And I mean, that was my whole thing. Like I talked about early, Caleb Downs made 2 guys miss, but there were 2 more guys like ready to tackle him, you know, and that, you know, I don't want to see JJ in that type of situation. And I've been saying, we could have already cribbed a couple of these punts to the house if our guys will just block.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. It feels like I hope we don't have a broken promise. Brandon Ennis guaranteed us at least a kick or a punt return this year. It feels like that may be in doubt. Man, would it be awesome if we broke that streak against the team up north. That game is right around the corner, but we got a bigger one against Indiana coming up. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this game, just on a scale of 1 to 10. How worried are you going into this game as a Buckeye fan? Because I told Cam and Chris earlier this week how I feel about this game, and I think it might be a little bit of surprise to people. Mike, how you feeling? Scale 1 to 10.
I say about a 5. I'm like 50-50, man. That's how I'm feeling. I'm about 50-50.
Cam, where are you at?
I'm at a 9.
As your worry?
Oh, no. I'm at a 2 then.
Okay, so Cam is at a 2. His confidence at a 9. I was like, I didn't know we was doing a show with a scary ass nigga. Scared of Indiana? Come on now. No way. I told Cam and Chris this week, this is giving me Michigan State 2021 vibes. Ooh, Michigan State just beat Michigan. Oh, how are we going to beat them? We'll go in there and blur them. I feel like we're on pace for the Buckeyes to make a statement like, all right, this team is not Oregon, and watch what we do with them. I feel like the Buckeyes have an opportunity to potentially dominate this Indiana team. I don't think their schedule has been overly tough. I saw someone say the other day, a lot of teams in the top 10 are being propped up because of a bad win over Michigan. So it'll be interesting to see how the Buckeyes end up performing against Indiana. I do think this is going to be a big opportunity for the Buckeyes to assert themselves as, they're already going to be number 2 in the country, but I feel like a lot of people still don't want to necessarily believe in the Buckeyes. I feel like if they go out there and handle business, people will be jumping right back on the bandwagon. Do you guys have a particular concern or a matchup that worries you, or people should be doing some research about this week regarding Indiana to prepare themselves for this game?
Ryan, are you saying that you think it's going to be the Michigan State game because, they paid Mel Tucker right before that game? And then Cignetti just got paid right before this game?
I don't think that was a mistake. I don't think that was an accident paying him before that game. I'm like, slot bro in.
Well, you got to think, though. They're trying to leverage their coach because if he beats OSU, they're thinking, like, if he beets OSU.
So OSU's going to get expensive.
Yeah, his stock is going to go up even crazier. So let's lock him in case,
Yeah.
And then it backfired.
No worries, because they're not going to beat Ohio State. Cam, this is your opportunity to brag. You have faced off against Kurt Cignetti not once, but twice. No, 4 times? 2 times? 2 times?
3 times.
3 times. What's your record?
2-1.
2-1. What's the key to victory for the Buckeyes, Cam? You have the recipe.
Listen,
they say we're losing recipes, but Cam's here with them.
As a personal Kurt Cignetti destroyer, I would like to say, first of all, go Vulcans. Second of all, the teams, the one thing I will say for him, he has an ability to like create a cult-like environment to where his players just follow him. Like he was like that at IUP. I'm sure he was like that when he went to Elon. I'm sure he was like that when he went to JMU. And I'm sure it's like that now in Indiana. Like those motherfuckers going to buy in and they're going to play hard as hell. And you're going to have good O-line play. But when times get rough, when times get tough, He got a tendency to do some dumb shit. You know what I mean? Get a little tight. You know what I mean? And start making bad decisions. So like that's what we saw against Michigan. They got a little tight and they stopped trying to throw that back shoulder. They stopped trying to go vertical and want to just run the ball. You know what I mean? Like IUP Kurt. So I don't know, man. It is what it is, bro. I mean, if we're talking about, I feel like people forget. We can't act like Michigan fans, right? And forget all of the things that we said in the spring and the summer about this team. We said that we were going to be the best team. We're going to have the best defense. We said that we're going to win a national title. We said that that this was a national title or bust type of season for Ryan Day. And
I didn't say that. I said I don't know who my quarterback is.
Okay,
I'm not lying.
All right, I came in
pussy.
He was scared of Bill. I watched Bill tape. I was like, we're gonna be fine with Bill. And then now fast forward, we're supposed to sit here and be worried about Indiana knocking us off that track. Like if we are who we say we are, we look at this game as an opportunity to say, hey, we're one of them too. You know what I mean? Like they're coming to Ohio Stadium. And we're gonna put BTA, get them up out of here, bro, and get to the Big Ten championship and get that rematch with Oregon.
Speaking of conference championships, real quick, Cam, I did want to pivot before we get out of here. There was a conference championship played yesterday. Do you know which one that I'm referring to? Oh, yeah, let's get into it. Big PSAC news. The PSAC champions were crowned yesterday in California, PA. But it wasn't the Vulcans that won, was it, Cam? Damn. It was the two-time reigning PSAC champs. Kutztown comes into California and beats Cam's alma mater, Cal U, for the PSAC championship yesterday, 21-14. Second in tackles for losses all time at Cal U. We have a Cal U legend here. Can I just get a comment on the championship loss yesterday by the Vulcans?
Hey, man, hard-fought guy. Hey, shout out to Jawan Turner, Woody High.
Shout out to Jawan.
And they did what they had to do, man. Kutztown has turned into a very good program in the PSAC. Ironically, when I won the PSAC championship, we beat them by 40, and it was against Kutztown. So I don't know, man. Hopefully the guys. It sounds
like everybody just needs Truther on their team. Cal U needs Cam back on the edge. The Buckeyes might need Cam on the edge to beat Kurt Cignetti this weekend. Like, could you get ready for Saturday's matchup?
Man, no, it was just a special group of guys down there in the Mon Valley, man. A special group of guys. Man. It's hard to recapture that.
Special things happening in the PSAC. Shout out to Jawan and the Cal Vulcans. My Slippery Rock Pride did not make it to the PSAC championship game after suffering a loss to the Cal U Vulcans while they were undefeated. But that's a topic for another day, man. Mm-hmm. We had a great Buckeye
Cheney Wolves. Sorry.
Man, but this is a Buckeye show. I got one more team that we have to talk about, Mike. It's a big day for us. It's a big day. It's a big day for us. Can I get a prediction? Steelers-Ravens.
Oh, man. You know how it go, man. It's Steelers time, man. Shout out to all the Steelers fans out here. Let's go with 24-20. Let's go 24-23 because I think that is going to come down to the kickers, man. And I think we got the best one. Ravens fans think that they have the best one, but I think we got the best kicker. He going to show out. Go ahead, win us the game. I see you little Brownie fans hating in the little chat or you little bingo fans. But tell me how many Super Bowl trophies you have. Oh shit, never mind. Can't. What's up, Ryan?
Cleveland Mike trolling.
Let's go Steelers. I got the Steelers.
I'm not even about to let you get that off because there was no Browns in Cleveland when I was growing up, bro.
Cleveland Mike trolling.
You know what was on TV? You know what was on TV? This right here. There was no Browns in Cleveland when I was growing up. This was on TV.
Wrap this up, bro.
Yeah.
Cleveland,
Cam, the floor is yours. Tell it.
Yeah, what your cowgirls gonna do?
Oh, you want to know? You want to know my Cowboys? You want to know my Cowboys? You want to know my Cowboys?
Girls gonna
My Cowboys about to bust down that AP. Perfect time, man. Take it for Shador.
It's Shador season. It's Shador season in Dallas,
Shador
man.
season, bro. Cooper Rush go lose us a game today, bro. Fuck out here. And go get Prime, bro. We're on a fucking mission, bro.
The tank is in full effect in Dallas. We appreciate everybody tuning into this episode of Buckeye BS. Fellas, let the people know where they could find you.
Man, you can find me at 216_wildboy on the X app, and you can catch me this Wednesday right here on this platform for the Fans Edge, where we're talking all college football, and we're going to break down them shitty ass college football playoff rankings that they just copy and paste from the AP poll.
Cam?
You can find me on Twitter or the X app at I Know Things 19. Or on here every Sunday, or maybe on the Fans Edge with Mike.
Tune in to find out.
It's a crapshoot, but I'm gonna pop up one of these days. Yeah.
If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at 2Ts. It's 2_TES. If you guys are on Blue Sky, me and Chris Drew have migrated over there. So if you're over there, make sure you check us out on there. We got an Ohio State starter pack. So if you're looking for other Buckeyes, come find us. You can find me weekdays here on this platform for the Buckeye Roast, Monday through Friday with my guy QP Ski. You can catch me Wednesdays in the Bleacher Report app for our weekly previews with Chris Drew. And then Saturdays on the Menace Sports platform for the best damn college pregame show and the Juck on Bucks postgame after the game. We appreciate everybody tuning in. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
I-O.
Mike almost spelled OO. Let's get out of here.